Hey doing everyone, it's been a little while since I've done a straight out Q&A, but we're going to get into one today. Got a lot of questions this week, so we'll be going through them here. And the first one I've got here is from Hitro Okasini in our Discord group, and he's asking, I mentioned I'll be picking up some guns for the round 17 buy after round 13, and who are the kind of guys I was thinking about, because he said there's only probably Tohu Harris as a pretty good option, and that's fair enough. Obviously, you've got the Dogs in there who aren't a great side. Cowboys, not too many fantasy options, but someone like Taumalolo could be a really good option after round 13. Raiders, there's not too many there again, but guys like Tarpanay and all those you could be thinking about. The back line isn't too crazy. On the Eagles side of things, there's probably not too many. So yeah, we're talking about a lot of the guns are actually going to be in this round 13 one to start. From the Roosters side of things, so yes, there's a few bits and pieces, but I suppose you'd be holding them anyway, like a Walker and these types of guys. We've already got Angus, Satili could be there. Boyd Corden is an interesting one if he can get back to decent form. And then their back line as well. Someone like Joey Manu could be good as that one there. And then the Warriors, Tohu's going to be a big one. On the Sharks, probably someone like Sean Johnson. So that's kind of the thoughts I'd be going with at this stage. Luke L goes, can get any keeper for under 8.19. Who would you grab? Alrighty, let's have a little look, hey? 8.19. So you pretty much got the pick of the litter. You've got Ponga, Cherry, Frizzell, To'o, Cook, Taumalolo, McCulloch. All right, cool. So they're kind of the top guns in. And the question's going to be, if you're playing head-to-head, I'd be going a Callum Ponga, straight up. In the wing fullback position, it has probably 5 good players, like really good players, with him, To'o, these types of guys. If you're looking for the edge, I'm going Frizzell, 100%. Averaging, just over 60, 62 there. It's been great. DCE is always going to be a good option. You get him at a 95k discount. Cook, people still trying to trade him out, I think is silly. And then you got guys in our team, Angus and these types of guys are going to be good. But if you're 8.13, you're looking for someone that does play in round 13, then there's a few options, but they're a little bit lower than this. So you're looking at McCulloch as a good one at our most expensive, and then you've got someone like Gutho who might not play. Pangai Jr. is a really good option this week. Lucy Leilua, Moses, Barnett. These are kind of the guys you want to be looking at. I said Johnson, you're looking for round 14 onwards. Fisher Harris is all right. Twal also okay. That's about all. Hope that helps with those ones. Is Cam Gray a hold or a seller? Definitely a sell. Looks like he's out for a month, so and they don't play round 13 either. So yeah, no good with that one. Question from C. Estosic. All right. Hey, I don't know what to do with James Roberts because he's my only cover at center. If I trade him, I won't be trading for another center. I don't know if I should trade him away. So basically, what he's saying is I'm going to remove my center cover to trade him out. But I don't see the point. He's at, 280k? Is that right? 280 at this stage? Maybe even less. No, he's going to be out for a bunch of weeks. 286. And at that price, you're not going to bank any cash by bringing in a slightly cheaper, like if you didn't bring in a Cini or something like that, you're trading him for another guy that might be out of the squad in a few weeks and another red dot. So for Roberts, you just keep him in your team, unless you can upgrade him and you have plenty of cash in the bank and you can go him straight up to like a 600, 700k kind of player. I know a lot of people seem to bank 500k each week. I don't see the point in that, but that's probably the only option there. Troy de Aussie asks, is Fui worth keeping if he keeps that center spot? I don't think so. I can see him averaging close to 30 in the centers. He's not going to be a gun. I remember when your gun centers are between 40 and 50 as your top guns, and I don't see him averaging that. I could see a 30, if that. He's done it before. He's played some center in the past and hasn't done very well. Usually it's just covering off the bench. He'll come in and play some big minutes, but let's see if he's actually started any games. Mainly second row. Here's a center game. 19 in 80 minutes, just to make me feel better. 24 in 80 minutes. What else we got? 32 in 80 minutes. 28, 30, 48, 27, 37 and 28. And a couple of them had a try in there. So I don't think he's an option and worth holding at all. What else we got here? All right. Hey, Jamie, should I trade Croker to Walsh or bank the trades? I'm a bit worried the CHC will take his place. PP47, if you're worried about him taking his spot, then don't do it. You're gonna hate yourself if that happens and he takes his spot. You'll probably be annoyed that If you didn't pick him up, you would also be annoyed, but I don't think it'd be the same level as if he got dropped back to reserve grade or to the bench, or you know what I mean. I think you'd be better off just waiting with that one. Last week or the week before was the week to bring Walshy in, I think, and with Croker you've got a bit of cash there. You're in the mid 400s with Croker, so I think you can either wait for a good cash cow, because I don't think there's many this week, or try and upgrade him to like a 600k. There's a bunch of guys like Kurt Mann and stuff like that who could do a really good job for you around that 600k mark or a bit less. Question I had here was, do you think Peachy won't play Origin? I think he has to play 14, and does he get that spot? I don't think so. What do you guys think about that? What else we got? And PP47 just asked further around that with a couple of the possible cash cows. So he said, should I get a cash cow like Gamble, Sini, or Siamano Fagai? Which option sounds better? They both. I thought Walsh was a bit risky, yeah, like we spoke about. So Gamble is a gamble. Like, I think it can really work, and he can average close to 40 over the next bunch of weeks and play around 13. But he could also be dropped. They got Croft there. They got Dearden, who are decent players as well. If they lose a couple of games, I can see him getting dropped straight away. Something to think about. You can go for it, and it could pay off. But I also see him playing another week or two, and then being a red dot in your team. He's played, what, 4 or 5 games over the last bunch of years for this Broncos side that hasn't been good the last couple. That means something, right? I think so. Another one. Crispy Bacon. What are your thoughts on Gamble? Is he worth the risk? Exactly what I just said. Hey, Jamie, Hampton and Armour to Sini and Peachy, or don't trade and wait for a better cheapie than Sini? That's good thinking, JS. 29801. I'd be possibly waiting for a better cheapie. The question is, what's happening with the Tigers guys at the moment? Do we have some injuries? How long are they out for? That's something to really look into and check out as to why Sini has his spot, right? Is it just because he's good enough? Apparently he's been playing well in reserve grade, came out and did well on the weekend, so there's a chance he keeps his spot. But if he does, I can see him averaging somewhere in the 30 mark. But again, he's not, the wingers especially, they're not someone that's going to make, come in as a hooker and play 60 minutes and average 40 plus. They're not going to do that. That might be a 30 scorer and make you 100 or so thousand, and it's not really that. You're not going to kill your team if you bring them in. But what we do most years, I've done in the past as well, is bring in these types of guys and they don't actually get many weeks, or they get one score of like 12 and destroy any cash they're going to make, and then they end up being a red dot in your team during the buy and origin period, which is why I am really asking and hoping people will hold these types of guys on their interchange, like the Alvaros, the Stefanos, etc., that are going to be there each week. These centers and wing fullback, if you're playing roulette with them, you're not sure if they're going to be there come the time when you actually need them. Right now, and we know that Alvaro, Stefano, Lenu, these kind of guys are going to be there around 13 when we need them to score. So, there's no point trading just for the sake of it, because you think, oh, this guy might make 100k. Yeah, but it might, right? Might. Who do we got? So what are we deciding on that trade? I like the Peachy option with the Hampton and Armour, but can you go? I'm assuming you can't go one of them straight to Peachy. So it might just be worth holding steady. If you've got enough cover for this week, then sweet. If you don't, then you might have to make that trade and just hope that Sini does well. Anthony asks, hey mate, should I be holding Lanu, Alvaro, and Uitukamanu, or can I trade Alvaro or Uto to Papali'i? I got 24 trades. So 24 trades is fine. If you can go literally straight swap one of them to Papali'i, then do it. Like, you're looking at a guy that's going to hit a 30 in round 13, or you're going to have a guy that's going to hit 60 every week up until round 13 and in round 13. So it's an absolute no-brainer if you can make that trade. That's kind of the only thing with these. If you're trading these guys here in the on your emergencies for another possible cash cow, I think it's a really silly idea. Or you're going sideways or something like that. But if you can go straight to a top gun, then I think it's a massive win. Or we wait until, if you get Alvaro and Stefano there at 470 and 440 respectively, if you can go one down to a 250k, and then if you've got a bit extra cash and you can go up to a 750 or something like that, in the next few weeks, if a good cash cow comes up, then by all means do it. But until that happens, don't do it. Shay Sturgis, we got, do I trade out Cook and Hampton and bring in Peach and Oppa? I'm not even going to continue. Cook, why? It's averaging 60. What's the point? Hampton, you can trade out. That's fine. I'll probably be doing that myself this week or the next couple of weeks. But bring in Peach and Oppa. I do like Peach and Oppa, but don't have any cover in centers. Do I just trade Hampton and get a Smith or a cheapie like Sini? Surely there's someone else other than Cook you can trade out, is my question. No cover. So if you got no cover in your centers, then you only need one, surely, unless you can't have had multiple injuries this week in the centers, could you? I think the smartest option there is be trading one of your mid ranges to one of those centers. I think, yeah, even Hampton. Surely Hampton being, what is he again? I got him up here. This is my team. Yeah, 425. Surely you can go to someone in that 400 range. Just quickly scroll down there. Around that 400k range in the centers. Obviously, Crichton's there. You got Bird and stuff that's a little bit more expensive, but surely you can go up to a Bird or an Oppa or something like that rather than having to make two trades in your centers. Remember, we don't want to be playing that center roulette there going forward. Yeah, there's not a lot of options in the cheaper range, but if you can go straight up to that, I'd suggest that. Those like the cheapest possible gun center, because I feel like you're trading out a proper top tier keeper for one possible keeper and one center keeper, right? Not that exciting to me. If you've got a top gun hooker, I'd be looking. If you had Cook, Mane, McCulloch, Brayley, like if you had a mixture of three of them in your side, you're probably in the top ranks right now. So I don't see the point in doing that. All right, we'll move to some of the YouTube comments. Is it worth offloading Nikorima? I have Curran, Walsh, Harris as well. Okay, as soon as you ask that question about, should I offload someone in a singular team just because I have multiple players in that team, I think that's a very silly idea. Years past, anyone that's played this for sort of 10 years know that how many Broncos players we always seem to have. When it was Corey Parker, you had the gun forwards in the middle and stuff like that you'd have, and then the odd outside back or Anthony Milford or whatever you had there. You'd have 5-6 Broncos players at all times, and they were like your bankers. Like last year we had Payne Haas and Carrigan and Osako and whatever you wanted to have. They were the guys that scored really well. So there's no, if a team's doing great, there's no reason why you can't have a bunch of these guys. Yes, maybe as you come closer to the bye rounds and you're like, shit, I have 4 or 5 Warriors players who don't play, then maybe you can trade one of them. But they're like Nikorima, if we actually have a look at him, he's scoring incredibly. He's averaging like 53, sorry. At 626k, you got him fairly cheap for a 53 average. You look at his last 4 games, 61. He had a 32 when they got done against the Storm, which is fair enough. 66 and 51, and he was incredible on the weekend. I don't understand why you'd be looking to trade him out. It was like, and who should I get? Dewey, Moses, Walker. Yeah, all of those are great options, but the other question was, or trade Kikau as well. So I just think you just trade Kikau to Dewey, Moses, or Walker if that's what you want. Simple. Save the cash and get Walsh, or spend the extra 300k for Dewey. Spend the extra 300k. We don't know what Walsh's his job security, etc. is going to look like, so do it. All right, Jahanzo got 4 red dots. Roberts and Hampton among them. Got Simonson for wing fullback cover, but got no centre cover. Is Sini's the best option here, or to wait and see if another cash cow pops up next week? Yeah, if there's not a good option this week or one you're really comfortable with, every trade you want to make, guys, you want to be feeling comfortable about it and not go, oh, it's going to be a maybe. You know what I mean? So make sure you got the right thing. And if this week you have enough players in each position, you just pray and hope that there's not an injury this week and you don't have to bring cover in. That's the hope, right? A lot of us have done that for weeks and weeks and you get away with it. Sometimes you try it for 1 week and you don't get away with it. But yeah, as is what it is. You kind of just got to go roll with the punches and hope that no one gets injured. I think that's the smarter option. Is Haas to pick up or too early? It's never too early. Now that he's dropped cash, obviously you're going to get the 4 weeks out of him before he plays Origin. He's not someone that's going to play massive minutes, so he should be able to back up, and he'll miss 2 games over the next 10 weeks approximately. So if you're okay with that and you want his 60 odd scoring, then I think you're sweet. I've got a question about who I want to start in interchanges. 2 out of Stefano, Simkin and Sini. What would you do? Stefano, Simkin, easy. Sini has every chance of getting 15. He said, love your content. Thanks, Tim. Appreciate it. I think you're trading Mitch Moses and Cam Murray. Who for? What? Trading Mitch Moses in or out? I think sounds like he wants to trade him out. I think that's a very silly idea. Just trade Cam Murray, and you've got pretty much the pick of the litter for Cam Murray. Just pick. My suggestion: go for the position you need the most help in, and lock a gun in that position. Keep Mitch Moses. Everyone's trading him in this week. Okay. Hi, great videos, mate, from Matt K. Thank you. I have to get rid of Corey Thompson. I already have Gutherson as my other fullback. Would you replace Thompson with Brimson or Asako or someone else? Brimson every day of the week. I'm so keen for him at the moment. He's so cheap. I think he should be able to get back to his gun status, especially as he's warming into the season. He's been injury free for a while now. I think it's a really smart option to get Brumo into your side this week over Asako, especially. The Broncos aren't as good. Titans are over the season, I think they're going to improve. They're going to get better. And if you look to what they did in the back end of last year, I think you can be really confident in what Brimson's going to do, especially at this price point. You're not buying him at the 700K that you were getting at the start. You're getting him in, what, 500K? Is that right? Close to it. Jeez, if it's 500K, I really want him. 522 is so cheap, man. And we'll just have a look at him. I think he's a great option this week if you're not sure about your types of players. You got obviously a 22 3 weeks ago. It was scary, but he went 49, 22, 52, and 69, which gives him a nice solid average. And now we're up to a 40 average for the year, which is not terrible. And if you're picking up a 40 average at minimum, you'd imagine 40 average is going to be his worst for the rest of the year. Does anyone agree with that? 522K, picking him up there as a potential keeper in your wing fullback, I think is really, really cool. Only thing to think about is he going to go into Origin camp? Is he going to play 14? Is he? I don't know. I don't know if he's playing good enough to be picked in Origin. But last year he actually played when Ponga went down injured, and he did really well. So every chance he can do that. Can get any player under 747 for Graham. Solid in centres. Bench needs a boost or any two good bench options for 1.02. Gee, now we're testing me. 1.02, two bench options. Well, my personal favourite with that would be, does he need? I don't think you need to get two, do you? Surely you just trade one. I think just trade one and get a gun. 747. All right, let's go for some filters by price. What do we go? Under 747, 600 at 800K. Let's do it. Less filters. Make this a bit easier for everyone. Cool. 747. Oh, we missed out on Cook by one. Tamalolo, I'd wait a little bit. McCulloch's a gun. So what'd you have? Graham. Yeah. So you can pick anyone, basically. Solid in centres. Api Coruscant becomes very interesting over the next few weeks, I think. Who else we got? Gutho, Pangai. I think Pangai's a great option. You got the dual position there, which is awesome. He might be your one. Madison becomes really interesting over the next few weeks. I think he's still got a little bit of cash to drop, but he's someone that averaged 60 last year. So think about that. If you can get him at 670, 680, I think he's going to be great. Leilua Moses, all great options. We've spoken about them already. So pick any of those guys. Please watch this video, Jake Smith, and you'll be able to sort that out. Curran and Walsh for Niu and Fumayano. Thoughts? Yeah, I have some thoughts. I think Curran's really good. They're both good players. They're both going to score well when they're in the team. Curran, I think, has better job security than Walsh. Walsh could be out of the team next week or even this week. He could be on the bench, blah, blah, blah. So hard to make that decision, if I'm honest, but I'm happy with your trade outs in Niu and Fumayano. So think about that at this stage. Maybe it's worth just trading one in to be safe. One out, one in. Maybe go Fui just for one of them. It's a good option. Would you hold Jai Arrow whilst Murray's out, and would you expect him to play 55-ish minutes? Hell yeah. I'd be holding Arrow and playing him, and you're looking for a 50-point score at least. I think with Arrow, he's got that pedigree, and he's been playing pretty well this year. Obviously, the less minutes on the bench lately, but you saw what he did in those first few rounds. Obviously, that sucked a few people in, unfortunately, but with the kind of minutes he's been getting lately, if you look at that there, 43, 43, 32, 36, 41. So those first 2 weeks, got 45 minutes and 51. You obviously got a 45 and a 74. If you can get somewhere in the 55-minute to 60-minute range, like Murray was playing, then I'm expecting a 45 plus. Yeah, could be all the way up to 55, 60. So, look at some of these games at Lock last year where he got 60 minutes. The majority of them are between 40s and 50s. So hold on to him. What's your Toto, man? Hampton, Pappy, Murray, Cam Graham. I'm cooked. Gonna have to play with 16 this week. That's tough. Hampton and Murray. I think you just trade. You just make two trades for Murray and Graham out, and you can get two guns. I think that's the smartest option. You won't have to play with 7 to 16 then. What have we got? Travis Clutus in the same position as you, Jamie, was originally thinking of bringing in Gutho, given his form, and might play round 13. Second thoughts are bringing in Dewey, as he also is 13, DPP cover for half to partner Fogs in that round. Yeah, both really good options. I don't think you can go wrong either way with Dewey or Gutho. So just make the decision as to who you like watching more. If you really enjoy Gutho and his beautiful flowing locks and his Man of Steel look, then pick him up. If you really enjoy Mr. Dewey, in control, getting booed on the and getting yelled at on the sideline when he goes to kick them, pick Dewey. I don't care. What have you got? Crazy praying mantis. How hasn't Tane Milne given the game away by now? Avoiding packing shelves at Coles for as long as he can, maybe. Jesus, getting in there, mate. What else we got? Yeah, Murray Straight trade for TPJ. I think is a great option. Have both Lomax and Hampton injured. Just want two solid centers. Who are my two best options to get if I have 940k? Lomax and Hampton. That's tough. All right. I think Bradman Best is a great option. Let's get in some by price. Let's go centers. All right. Let's do it. Let's get into it. 940k. We have some good options. If we go right to the top, we got a Best. 560. If you want to do that, you then have 380, which gives you no one too exciting. Joey Leilua, you want to do it? Who's doing it? Who's with me? Yeah, there's that. Or the other option is to go 470, 470. Wow, I can't believe Lomax. Lomax is cheaper than Averillo. Wow. All right, questions. You can go Farnworth, Crichton, and a Bird. It's a decent option. Other than that, I don't like it. That's probably it. Farnworth and Bird, Averillo and Crichton, a mixture of those four. It's going to be best, I think. Or you can go, Lockie Smith comments here, Peachy plus Sini. You can do that. You get a clear-cut keeper, and then you get a cheaper guy who might play the next bunch of weeks and help you out. But yeah, I think I'm going to leave that there with the questions at the moment. Join the Discord group down in the comments there if you want to message me directly. I've got a bunch of guys I need to reply to right now, but just thought I'd get this Q&A out early. If you're enjoying these, please hit like and subscribe. Really appreciate all the support. Going into round 9 now. Good luck with your trades this week. I'll show you all mine in the People Squad there, and we'll go from there, guys. Have a good one. Bye-bye.